Welcome to the Take It Home podcast. The podcast so bad we really just need to take it home. I am one of your hosts, Doc Simmons. You can find me on all social media at Doc Simmons 17. And I'll go ahead and give the hot tag to my partner to introduce himself and us.
Uh, the Outlaw Zach Hendricks. You can find me on all social media platforms at Z Hendricks Brand. And of course, if you love me and Doc together like we do, look us up for Country Air Official for Facebook and Instagram, and Country Air Brand at Twitter. I guess we'll give it to the second best ass in the business.
That would be me, Gunnar Wicks. You can find me on all the social media at Gunnar Wicks.
And finally, our senior official.
What's up, everybody? I'm Perch. You can find me at Perch XLV, # for the ref brand, and Waffles Take It Home podcast, baby.
Waffles, 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 all the waffles. Probably going to have some waffles tomorrow morning for breakfast.
I was in a waffle drought this week. I was thinking about them, but in a waffle drought. I did notice, however, so I remember the Titans for the first time.
Ooh,
And
really?
they woofed some waffles in a montage.
Wait, you just saw Remember the Titans?
Yeah, it's a new movie, right?
Yeah, man.
It's not bad. Always aware of it. Never saw it, but they had a little montage and it said Titans eat free, and it shows them like scarfing down some waffles just like we all would, and then they erased the eat for free on the side.
As they would for us.
As they would.
I'm about to pull a Doc Simmons trick here and say, Remember the Titans is a banger. And speaking of bangers,
we can just jump right in to Perch's Banger of the Week.
Oh man, banger of the week this week. This one comes as maybe a curveball here. It's one that I've always known my entire life. Never really heard it or listened to it until it hit just right. It was like nice afternoon drive, a reflection time. It was a good week getting back and adjusted back to Wisconsin. Oh man, and this song, I looked over it my entire life, never thought twice. But this week it hit just right, and I listened to it probably 10 times. It's a banger. The banger of the week comes from one of my favorite albums of all time. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road is the album. Started with Funeral for a Friend. Just great songs all around. But the banger of the week, Elton John, Candle in the Wind. Banger.
Ooh, I don't think I have heard that, but I do like me some Elton John.
Oh, that whole CD, just front to back, phenomenal. And that song, powerful.
Yeah, he definitely does some good things. He is definitely on the list of somebody I need to like just put on and run for a while. I know I did that with Prince, I mean, a while ago now, but you just kind of, let me just, what's hitting over here? Elton John is on that list of people I need to go ahead and listen to.
Those
well,
well-respected, musicians who are so good at what they do, and it's like you're aware of them, but you have to find it on your own or when the time's right. You know this person's got greatness, but takes the right time and the right setting to hit it.
Yeah, definitely.
I was like looking at when we were on the weekend, on the road trip, I was seeing a couple Snapchats from guys who were at that ACW show for the after party, and it looked like everyone was rocking out to that song "Sacrifice" by Creed. Like I haven't heard that song in so long, but that was like an old.
Oh yeah, that is it. An old banger.
Yeah, but Ragnar had on his snap, and you just see like I think the entire bar was jamming out. Like Tyler Sullivan, Sean Priest, everyone was getting down to that one. And I was like, man, I forgot like how good that song was. Like, you haven't heard it in a minute.
Definitely. Yeah. So we got a banger of the week and a sub banger from the ACW weekend.
Creed is always good for a banger, especially that Weathered album.
Yep. But before we get to talking about our weekends and everything we have planned for this weekend, I do want to address something that I should have addressed last week. I'm going to say we do have a winner for our Banger of the Week contest.
Damn it.
I'm going to declare her a winner. I should have said this last week, but the winner of the Banger of the Week contest is Chrissy Ross. She did message me. Now it's like 2 weeks ago. With the bangers of the week, so we will put together a take it home podcast gift bag. Gunner is very upset. He has to lose that $7 in shirts.
Well,
Way to go, Chrissy Ross. Way to go.
Congratulations, Chrissy. I know you're going to be listening to this Thursday morning. I know she told me she's a loyal Thursday morning listener. So
Yeah.
hope we make it Thursday morning. Just let us know, do you want the gift basket made for you? Or do you want us to hook up your kid Max? I know Max is a loyal listener as well. So just let us know what you want, Chrissy.
Yep, and we'll go ahead and put that out there.
and if you DM me on one of the social medias, what shirt size you want, I'll throw in a shirt.
Yeah, get that very rare Gunner Wick shirt.
Yep.
It's gonna high resale value right there.
No, we
It's
can
an
do it.
investment you're getting.
Very
Also,
high. Could even sign it.
Why don't we come out with a take it home podcast t-shirt and get our something we can, all four of us are creative, make a take it home podcast shirt. And
I've been thinking about it,
Great
trying to come up with a logo. I definitely think we need to have waffles somehow involved in it.
No, we should do waffles, but the syrup form our logos.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah. We'll come up with something. Yeah. Gotta get a take it home podcast shirt going.
And Chrissy Ross, whenever those shirts come out, you and Max will both get one. You'll get yours free.
Yeah, we'll do that too. Yeah.
I could put some of my graphic design skills to use and see if I could come up with something cool.
Yeah, if you would like. I know I asked you to do something and you did it very well for me. Thank you.
Anytime.
Yeah.
I got some ideas.
Little known fact about Gunnar Wicks, very talented artiste.
Yes, if you didn't know, he's a man of very many talents. He does not just create riots, he creates works of art.
Creates members.
Correct.
Sure can paint a face.
Basically. But let's go ahead and jump into what we did over the weekend. I think to kind of bridge it easiest, I'll go first. So Saturday, I was down in Oregon once again for Zao Live, trying to get back my Fireweight Championship from Chip Collins, the artist formerly known as Bucky Collins. Just want to say first off, to everybody in the Zawa locker room, that was a great show on Saturday. Everybody killed it. 3.5 stars per match at worst. Everybody really came together and put on a good show for everybody for the season 7 finale. I believe it was season 7 or season 8. I forget how they number them, but it was a great show. Did come up with the win, a nice clean liquid sword to the face to bring that Fireweight Championship back home. You can definitely expect to see me back defending that. Then Sunday, I drove up to Weston, Wisconsin to meet the rest of the homies for Lucha Mania. And I'll let my wonderful tag partner go ahead and talk about that weekend of shows.
Yes, sir. Lucha Mania was a 2-day event out in Wausau. Night 1, it was Caribbean Air or Country Connection, however you want to call it. Me with the lovely Chuko, and in the main event tagging against 2 big mean guys in Mav Boone and Gunnar Wicks.
Ooh.
I'm a pretty nice guy.
Slam the girl on her face.
I like Country Connection better.
Country Connection, yeah, Country Connection. Chuko and I did our thing, and Gunnar might complain about, but we got the win. There was no debates, no Raven Radix that messed that up for you.
She totally messed that up for me. She distracted my attention away from the ring. And because of that, did not see what was going on behind me and was off my ball. And somehow Mav got pinned. So I'm blaming him, actually. It's Mav's fault.
Well, he ain't here to defend himself. Yep, so it's Mav's fault.
Yep.
And then day 2, your mama's favorite tag team got to show Wausau what we were all about. Doc and I tagged against the Vape God Fletch Malone and the BCW Heritage Champion. Man, Doc ain't. There's no secret between Doc and him. His history, Chucky Bates, and got finished the match off with Air Buddies on Fletch, and got another W.
Yep. Another great match. Got to try some new ways of getting into things that I think worked out pretty well. But yeah, them country boys come up again with that big W. Gunner, why don't you talk about your second day?
Let's see. It's kind of a blur. It's going off about 30 minutes of sleep. As per usual, when we have those types of weekends where we get to stay at a hotel and party it up a little bit.
Yeah, all you children.
Let's see. Night 2 is a tag. Me and Mav against Raven. And I totally Danger Mask, I think his name is.
Yes.
Yep. That's a fun little match.
Gunner, can you explain to him why that match happened on night 2? Could you explain the actions of why that match even occurred? I think we're forgetting what happened night 2. Like,
well, night 1, me and Mav decided to attack Raven after her match, just because, we're kind of bored sitting in the back waiting for the show to get over. So why not? So we went, beat her up a little bit. Then we had our match with Doc and Chuko, in which she came out and distracted us for them to get the victory. So then night 2, that led up to a me and Mav versus her and Danger Mask. And I believe we lost that one also because, again, my attention was diverted. I was on the outside doing my business, doing what I do, choking people with a steel chair, and Mav got pinned again. So all his fault. We lost, but it was a great match.
all right, 2 things. First of all, night 1, you worked me, not Doc and Chuko.
Is that what I said?
Doc gets all the credit.
I still
You don't put
have
people
not
over
recovered
according to
from
Chuko.
my lack of sleep.
And then other thing, since me and Chuka were known as Country Connection, what are you and Mav known as? Is it Luxurious Instinct. Or Killer Ones?
Luxurious Instinct, I think, has a better ring to it. I don't know if our days of tagging really go beyond last weekend, since we kind of are 0 for 2. I thought he might make a better partner than Chucky, and I was wrong.
Well, I mean, the luxurious version of Killer Instinct is 1-0.
Just
We don't talk about that, Doc. Don't ever bring that up.
no, we can talk about that. Who did we beat, Doc?
That didn't happen last weekend. All right, hey Perch, how was your week?
No, rewind.
Well, I mean, if you don't remember it, we don't need to talk about it. We can just go into Perch's weekend. But I seem to remember you beating a very good tag team, just barely.
In the country.
I mean, there was all types of outside bell ringing and stuff. So
And
There was
a very slanted ring.
very loose ropes. It's quite the situation. But yeah, that I do remember now. It was me and Mav against you two, Country Air. And I do remember picking up that victory.
I mean, if the bell didn't ring in the middle of the match, maybe the spear would never happened in the middle of the ring. I'm not making excuses. I'm just blaming the timekeeper. Maybe Gunner's pocket's a little bit more heavier than you all think if he can give away a free shirt for merch.
Well, distractions seem to be the theme of us losing our tag matches.
Distractions seem to be the theme of all your tag matches.
Not wrong.
But we'll pass it along to the senior official who had probably one of the biggest weekends of all 4 of us.
Yes, and he certainly knows a thing about being distracted.
I always miss the good stuff. No, it was a good weekend, guys. Sounded like you guys had a blast too at the Oregon show and Wausau show, all over the Midwest here. Yeah, I was holding down the fort. Had a show up in Oshkosh for ACW WrestleCon, and that was on Saturday. Very fun show. Sentimental for me because my first ACW show was WrestleCon 2 years ago, I think, 2019, I believe, and got to be in there for the Rumble. I got to be a referee on the outside, which got us, on the show, and that was awesome. So fast forward to 2021. We all know what kind of a year we had, and it was peaks and valleys to say the least. But for ACW, everything was all systems go. They did a good, well precaution, safe environment, masks and distancing and all the good stuff. But we had a packed house up in Oshkosh. It was great to hear that crowd roar again. We've still had a lot of shows over the past year, but what we haven't had is a thunderous roar. And to be surrounded by the passion and to hear that emotion coming from the fans was very, very cool. You guys know the feeling too when a show happens and when the vendors are out selling t-shirts and selling wrestling action figures, and there's podcasts set up, and it's a show when you get the Weather Interior guy setting up his booth. Someone who has nothing to do with pro wrestling, but setting up their booth to try and get some people who walk by. But no, it was great. A good celebration of wrestling. I got to see Dustin, t-shirt guy, picked up a nice t-shirt to celebrate for the night. Love it. And yeah, the show was great. Started off with the Rumble. I think 20, 30 people. It was a packed ring. And then I ended up having a match right before intermission, which was the Disregarded, a team of T-Dub, Colin Brooks, and Brock against Joey Jet Avalon, Brian Myers, and the Broski himself, Matt Cardona. It was cool, a great experience to be in the ring with those guys, to experience how they work, and we know how it feels to build up endurance and huffing and puffing, and what it takes to have extra gas in the tank when you need it. Seeing it firsthand from those guys, wow, what some professionals. Definitely had gas in the tank, and they brought it. That was a really fun match. Afterwards, it only got made crazier by a run-in from Maven.
I did see pictures of Maven and was very amazed.
I was shocked because I forgot who I was talking to. It might have been Doc. I don't know who, but I literally was talking about Maven. I want to say a week or two ago. What's he been up to? Where's he been? And out of nowhere, he pops up at ACW.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned before some Creed, My Sacrifice. I mean, just any of those good tunes. That was right at the peak of me loving wrestling more than I ever had in my life. And also at that time was Maven winning Tough Enough for the first time, and picking a big old fight with Undertaker.
Yeah.
So from that day forward, he had always earned respect in my book. And fast forward till this weekend, holy smokes, dude's still in great shape. Nicest guy in the world. Could not have been more nostalgic to see him and everyone else. That was good. That was good first first match for me of the night. And that was right before intermission. And then right after intermission, I had my final match, which was a tag team match between Big Cat and Jay Cash against Steve Sawyer and Shane Hills for the tag team championships. And that was a good match, back and forth. At one point towards the end, Big Cat and Jay Cash have the opponents in the corners, and they're beating them with punches. I try to break it up. I happen to eat an elbow right to the eye. Took me out for a minute. was laying down, and all of a sudden, I feel a chair get leaned against me, and and right then, I start to come to, and right as I stand up, the crowd was bellowing. Just it started with a slow murmur, and it roared to a loud cheer. And I looked up, and everyone was on the ground. Everyone was on the mat, laying on their backs. And as it turned out, they pulled a 4-man Eddie Guerrero, dropped the chair, passed it to the next man, dropped the chair, passed it to the next man, dropped the chair, passed it to the next man. When the 4th man got it, he set the chair by me and slapped the mat. I stand up trying to make sense of it all. And that was a cool moment. That was a really cool part of the match, and all hell broke loose from there. But that was a takeaway that I'll remember, was to feel that emotion, for that spot in particular was pretty cool. But to experience WrestleCon once again, wow, what a weekend. And then after that, we had a show on Sunday down at Berwyn Eagles Club for LLT. Worked a lucha show, which I've been liking to do lately, to learn the style of match and the environment. What I don't make up for in the language, I try to make up for in emotion, and feeling the energy. So it was a good experience on Sunday, being out of my element, which I really like. So a good wrestling weekend. I think I did about 6 matches yesterday, and 3 matches on Saturday. So better part of 9-10 matches this weekend. Feeling it.
Yeah, man. It's and I was like, posting posters for coming up shows. It does feel good to start having these crowds back, and more promotions putting on shows. It feels like we're getting back to normal.
Yeah, back to normal. It's coming. It's coming.
Speaking of luchas, shout out to, I want to say, was it Golden Star? Insane backflip from the top rope to the outside for our show at Lucha Mania.
Yep. The Lucha guys that we had for Lucha Mania definitely put on. Shout out to them. Chico, Danger Mask, Golden Star, Torero. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but shout out to those guys. They really put on. All right. And now that we have talked about our weekend, let's talk about what we have been watching in the past week. I know it's been a busy week for us as we are getting back into our own wrestling modes, but let's just talk about anything that we've watched this week. I just got finished catching up on NXT, or actually I did not catch up on NXT. I'm probably halfway through last week's episode. Just saw Kushida beat Santos Escobar to win the Cruiserweight title. Match was as good as you expect. You can definitely tell in the beginning there was like that filling out period. Chemistry wasn't really there, but by the end it was, it was on. Those guys are 2 great professionals of the sport, 2 great cruiserweights. It's what you would expect. Catching up on New Japan. They've been really booking my man Shingo Takagi very strong against Will Ospreay, and I'm loving it. Real excited for that heavyweight or that world title match coming pretty soon. That's going to be a banger. Also, I mean, their light heavyweights are looking good with showing Yo as new tag champions, and Yo about to challenge Desperado for the light heavyweight title. So that's also looking pretty good over there. I am super excited for the upcoming Impact pay-per-view. To have Mauro Ranallo on the announce team for the Omega Swan match is going to be crazy, so I'm really looking forward to that. So I'll definitely be talking about that once that show airs.
That's Sunday, right?
Yeah, I believe that's this Sunday, so that'll be awesome. But that's all I got. Anybody want to talk about what they've been watching this week?
I can go.
We had
yeah.
some AEW today. Been watching some good stuff. Sky Blue still on, whether it's Elevation or Dynamite. or Dark, any of the AEW, you gotta catch, gotta at least see who's wrestling, because chances are you may know someone. Sky Blue taking on Abaddon tonight. She took on Britt Baker last time. The amount of people we've seen come through the AEW system is awesome. So always staying in tune and seeing who's wrestling on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to catch up on Elevation tonight. I'm gonna watch that probably after the podcast. But I've been watching a lot of the Ring of Honor. I watched Bruiser taking on Michael Bennett. That was a good match. I'm really liking the story that they're telling. I'm liking seeing Bruiser's aggressive side. He brings up his promo. He brought up a good point. He's tired of being the fun-loving drunk that's not getting the opportunity. And we all know Matt. I mean, we're all his students. We all know the hard work he puts in, and he's taking a shot. He's been at Ring of Honor for a while, and you can tell he's hungry to get some gold on him. So definitely a fun match there. Some dirty tactics. He hasn't taught us those tactics yet, but hey,
No, stop
Oh,
holding out.
it's always a good time when you can see our coach wrestling. And then after that, they had a pure gauntlet, a six-man pure gauntlet match. A man that Doc and I got to train with a little bit, Cheeseburger showing out, being in working three of the guys in that match, and but a guy I think Perch has worked closely with, Fred Yehai, winning the gauntlet. Just really enjoying that pure wrestling style, more amateur style coming in.
Yeah, I did watch that one when it aired like a couple weeks ago, and it was. I mean, I really enjoyed that gauntlet match. I really enjoyed all the stuff that Cheeseburger showed in that match. That was some good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Other than
and
that-
Fred Yehi doing the pure tournament is about as good as wrestling gets right now. I love it. I've been lucky to call a few of his matches, and just a great technical wrestler who brings it.
Yes, sir. And yeah, I mean, like later this week will be NWA. They have a show tomorrow, and I think you mentioned it. Sky was on the Elevation tonight. I believe she'll be on NWA Power tomorrow. Her and another homie, Marche Rocket.
Yep.
I saw a picture from an NWA taping, and it was Marche delivering a chop and referee Rob King in the background, and all I can see is just his face, and I know exactly what's going through his mind. It's one of those cool imagery. Been looking at a lot of wrestling pictures over the past week.
No, definitely. Shout out. And I think we said it last week, but it's always needs to be said because they are an underrated part of the wrestling experience. Shout out to all the photographers and cameramen because without you, it's hard to put out this content.
Yes, sir. And then last thing, good to see the Viking Raiders back. I mean, Doc and I as tag team wrestlers, it's always it's good to see guys all different statures, and I mean Viking Raiders are as good as it gets. Former Ring of Honor, former New Japan tag champs, former WWE tag champs, NXT. For those who don't know, former Bruce City Wrestling tag champs. So
What? I didn't even know that.
yep, when I first got in, they weren't the tag champs then, but they were listed on the Bruce City website as the tag champs. But
Yep.
yeah, they're former Bruce City Wrestling tag team champions.
Yep. And one of the
Yeah,
one of the good things about that website not being updated too often is you can see stuff like that.
yes, sir. So Gunnar, you've held belts that the Viking Raiders have held.
Nice. I believe actually, if you still look at the website, probably still says me and Chucky are tag champs.
Probably. And then I know like Gunnar, you probably watched a lot. So what have you watched this week?
I did not watch a lot in terms of wrestling matches this week, but I did watch both seasons of Dark Side of the Ring, all the episodes. In 1 week.
Oh yeah, that's
Yep.
awesome.
That's
Um,
a bad decision.
What's that, Zach?
Season 3 is about to come out soon, right?
Yep. Yeah, that kind of like triggered me to watch the other 2 seasons because I've seen a few episodes from. Well, I've seen like 2 from season 2 and like 1 from season 1, but I went through and watched all of them this last week, so that can be all caught up and ready for when season 3 comes out. Quite depressing, very depressing week for me watching all that stuff. Kind of sad.
It's necessary, Gunner. It's necessary. Just know that. Just know
Yep.
that.
Good reminder that this business is not all fun and games. But
Mhm.
yeah, very interesting stuff. Entertaining for sure. A lot of drama, and felt like I learned a lot about like the wrestling business as a whole watching both seasons of that.
Learn from our history, so we don't repeat the the dark sides.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, for us, what's dope though is Frankie knows most of those people and has worked with most of those people. So after I watched it, I definitely
Mhm.
asked some questions and
Mm.
good to go to him for that. But yeah, excited for the new season.
Do we know like what episodes or what they're talking about in the new season?
I believe the Pillman Jr. one is the first one
Okay, yep.
I'm gonna do. I know that they have talked about some of the episodes they're gonna do, but that's the only one I can remember.
Yeah, I think the
Oh.
coming one's like the big one.
Pretty sure they're gonna do the Shocker as well.
Yeah, the old Shockmaster. I think I did hear that.
Shockmaster, Shocker.
I'm
Need to-
blanking on the name, but after watching Dark Side of the Ring, who's the dude that slapped the hell out of the reporter? What's his
Dr. D.
Oh,
Dr.
Dr.
D.
David Schultz.
yeah.
Yeah, like after I
John
watched
Stossel took that smack right to the face.
I mean, after I watched that episode, I started looking up Dr. D, and I was like, I found a new love for that. I was like, wow, this dude's amazing.
Dude,
Great.
same. I've seen like that clip of him slapping that reporter before, but really didn't know like too much about the guy. But yeah, I watched that episode and was really intrigued by it. And I did the same thing. I Googled him and like watched some of his stuff. He's definitely a legit dude.
Yeah. Same. I guess everybody who watched that episode probably had to be like, all right, let's actually see who this guy is and what he's about. So yeah, I did start seeing more Dr. D stuff after that. And I think somebody actually that we know recently posted a picture with him. I remember coming across social media. I can't remember who it was.
Did you guys see the clip? It was like another new after like it was another news thing. There's another guy. It was part of the Dr. Schultz, Dark Side of the Ring. They had a talk show pretty much and talking about how he deserved all this money. And they had Dr. Schultz show up, and he was like, "You know why you can't pay that money? Because you're garbage. You ain't shit in the ring." Blah blah blah. And I was like, man, the intensity these guys brings, no matter where he's at, like live talk shows, whatever. Like, man, that guy would strike fear in any band.
Mm-hmm.
Dude became a bounty hunter or whatever, like after his wrestling career.
Mhm.
That's
Oh, yeah.
insane.
Anyone catch that fight, the Ben Askren fight?
Saw the knockout.
Same, yep, saw the knockout.
I mean,
I saw him in like a memo showed me it at the bar at the after party Saturday. So I looked it up Sunday. The amount of money Jake Paul won from that 20-second knockout is ridiculous. I think it was like he posted it because that's the type of guy he is. Had to brag about his money, but he got like 65 million. I was like,
not surprised. The amount that boxers make compared to wrestlers is ridiculous.
I was like, must be nice to make 65 million for 20 seconds. And
Trust me, I wrestle because I love it. It's not a money thing.
hell yeah.
Compared to what I was making, not even close. Not even close.
Yeah, if you get into wrestling to make money, I think you quickly realize you're in the wrong business.
Yep.
For making money.
Yeah. And like, not saying that you won't make money, but it is a while to get there.
Yeah. You could very well one day make a lot of money, but it is a long climb to the top.
Yeah. But we're getting there. Perch, did you have any more wrestling that you want to talk about that you
Oh yeah. Pictures from Basel came out from the freelance show. Check it out, BZ. Awesome pictures, black and white photography from that show. The Shy Secret Stash, that was awesome. Been looking through those. Had some cool matches with a lot of freelance guys that we've come up working with, and really haven't seen them for a while with the whole world being the way it is. So good to see everybody there and see us through the pictures that tell a million stories. Earl Gardner, the photographer, is releasing portraits and pictures and stuff from the collective weekend. I've been looking up a lot of those and the stories that he tells, whether it's before or after matches. Just awesome looking. I happened to get a portrait throughout the weekend too from Earl, so that was a pleasure of mine. He's one of the nicest guys I've met. And then was looking up, I mentioned before that I saw those pictures from the NWA. Hyben over on the West Coast takes those pics. A good guy. Met him in Indiana, and he's a West Coast photographer and just takes awesome pictures of shows. And to experience it from the West Coast side of things, just a lot of emotion. Very cool to see. So yeah, I've been looking through a lot of pictures, 3-count photos over the past week, and Brainbuster, Mouse. Just a lot of good stories told through the lenses of the photographers. So yeah, like you said, this was kind of a travel week last week. The schedule was thrown off a little bit, so definitely consumed wrestling every way we can. If we can't be in front of a TV, we're gonna find it through pictures or stories, or as much as we can. So yeah, this was a big time picture week for me, so I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Okay.
And yesterday got to see Matt Tucker, our homie from Zawa.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we were definitely missing him on Saturday.
Yeah, just another pleasant face to see every time, and he was there at the Lucha show. So we're kind of in it together when we're ringside.
Yeah, trying to make the best of a language barrier situation. Yeah, we were missing cameraman and video on Saturday, so it would have been great to have Matt there. Beach did manage to I believe find most of the footage of the first show, and I think he got a couple of the second, so you can expect that up on IWTV hopefully pretty soon.
Oh, awesome.
All right, but now we can move on to the topic I posed to everybody that I'm sure Gunnar didn't read the text to.
I did.
Oh,
I read it, saw it, gave it about 2 minutes of deep thought before I came to my answer, and I am ready.
Yep, it wasn't a super difficult question this week. Just in light of all the WWE releases that happened, I think the most surprising one being Samoa Joe leaving, because he just offers so much as a complete wrestler, whether that's in ring or doing commentary like he was. I posed a question to the crowd. Who would you choose to replace Samoa Joe on commentary? I think he was a very unique voice there, and I'd like to see, though I know they've already replaced him, I'd like to see who the guys would pick if they went. Gunnar, since you seem to have put the most thought into this, let's go with you first.
Yep. So I thought it was kind of a difficult question at first, because I was going through my brain, rattling off different names of who I thought would be what wrestler would be entertaining or worthwhile commentator. And then I came to the conclusion that I do not want my wrestlers to be commentators. So my answer is nobody. I prefer my wrestlers to wrestle. And there's I think cases where people are injured or retired or whatever, and they commentate, and that's great. I like that. But yeah, if they're still physically able to get in the ring and wrestle, I like when my wrestlers wrestle.
Okay. Well, if you could pick any wrestler that isn't able to get into the ring, Gunnar, who would you pick to replace Samoa Joe, being as he was on commentary because he couldn't get into the ring?
Well, Now that you pose the question that way, I think I don't know.
You
Basically,
are the
like
problem child of this podcast.
Gunner does this number. He's like, you know what? I'm not answering. Screw you, Doc, and your question. I like it.
I want my wrestlers to wrestle. Damn it. I think any wrestler that could cut a good promo would be suited quite well to also be a commentator. Wrestlers that I do like doing commentary that no longer wrestle. I like Beth Phoenix on NXT. She's good. I like Chris Jericho when he does this stuff for AEW, but I enjoy watching him wrestle more. Samoa Joe's good. Not that it would ever happen, but if CM Punk decided to get back into some wrestling stuff and he wanted to be a commentator, I think he'd do great. Do you guys remember back in the day when he did do commentary for a few matches, I think?
I wasn't watching at that time, so no.
He was highly entertaining, but he was entertaining because he didn't give a shit, honestly. So maybe like long term, he might not be a great commentator. I don't know. That's all I got.
All right. So
That's all I got. CM
say-
Punk's my official answer.
Yeah, we'll say CM Punk is your official answer for replacing Samoa Joe, Gunner. Thank you for answering our question. You're a pleasure to have on every week.
Thank you. Pleasure's mine.
All right, let's go to Zach next.
All right. I got a couple.
All right. Thank you, Zach.
So, number one would be because like the rumors are he's retiring soon. Would be Daniel Bryan. The love he has for professional wrestling and all that. He did do a little bit of commentary for Main Event. It's very entertaining, especially if you guys haven't looked it up. Go on YouTube and look up Daniel Bryan bear wrestling commentary, where every match he's talking about, I'll wrestle a bear, and like just pretty much that's unbearable. And just, it was very entertaining, but he was in gimmick at the time. But I just think Bryan has such a great knowledge for wrestling. Former heavyweight champion, had one of the best feel-good stories for WrestleMania. So, I mean, if he's going to retire from the in-ring, if he's not trying to be a family man and still wants to be involved, I think Daniel Bryan would be a perfect fit for commentary. Another man would be Edge. You know, he's getting up there. He doesn't wrestle as much. Been gone from the ring for like 10 years, came back, but you know, when that time comes where he wants to hang up the boots, I think Edge would be another guy, a very entertaining guy on commentary. My last one's just kind of because he ain't doing much, but he was the host of WrestleMania, and just to give him a shot, get him more on TV. Titus O'Neil.
Okay. Titus is a very good motivational speaker, so I think he would probably be very good on commentary. And actually, when he was doing like the Titus Worldwide, I feel like he was on commentary a couple of times in Tozawa matches, and it was pretty good.
Yeah. So those are my three: Daniel Bryan, Edge, Titus O'Neil.
Okay. I'll go next. I thought this was a lob to Gunner, especially with him doing interviews now, but
Kane,
I have two picks.
Undertaker.
Now, yeah, one would be The Undertaker.
I'm gonna kindly disagree on that one.
Like, I understand that people don't like seeing him out of gimmick, but I think it would be great if he did commentary in gimmick.
Interesting.
Yes, I think that would add a very interesting dynamic to the commentary team if he was doing commentary as The Undertaker. It'd add a nice little dark feel. I know like nobody else has watched Lucha Underground, but there was a period where Vampiro on commentary was going through like the storyline was he was going through some dark stuff, and it would come out every once in a commentary, and it was pretty interesting every once in a while. So I think Undertaker is better, so it would probably be better all the time with him.
Not wrong.
But my number, especially like during the Fiend stuff, if he was on commentary during that, I think that would definitely accentuate whatever story they were trying to tell with that.
How deep into his character are we talking here?
How deep he wants to take it. I trust good old Taker.
Because I feel like classic Reaper of Souls, Dead Man Undertaker wouldn't add a whole lot to commentary. And I don't know if I could, as much as I love him, could listen to his undead, like deep, scratchy voice for like
Fine.
2 hours.
American Badass Undertaker.
But yes, American Badass Undertaker.
Biscuit Undertaker would also be great.
I could get behind that.
But I like, at least with the Fiend, I do think the Taker of Souls Undertaker would be fine on commentary. But yes, I can also see American Badass. I trust Undertaker. I think if we gave him a mic and we're like, do commentary in character, he would be fine.
Mm-hmm. And if you've seen any of his like interviews or podcasts that he was doing recently, he definitely has like tons of knowledge of the business and comes at it at like a very like grounded, realistic approach.
Yeah.
And to have that interjected into commentary, I think wrestling like needs more of that.
Yes. And then my true number one pick, because I figured, this was easy and Gunner would have picked Kane or Undertaker. My true number one pick is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh yeah, dude.
After watching Broken Skull sessions, and like listening to Samoa Joe's commentary, like I think he would be perfect in that role.
He would be fantastic.
I agree.
Love to see him get hype at like the right emotions and just like the good wrestling that's going in. He's got the knowledge. He would tell a wonderful story in his own way. I picture the crowd just throwing Steve Weisers at the commentary table. Like, when they do that, like special announcement for on commentary, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I just imagine a rain of Steve Wires coming down. So I think for my number one pick, it would have to be Stone Cold Steve Austin to replace Samoa Joe.
He has like a lot of good catchphrases that you could like insert into commentary at any time that would like fit too.
Yep.
The only thing I would not like is if when we get the live crowds back and he's on commentary, when he walks out, I feel like the crowd would, like when they go to the camera and they show him on the Titantron, the crowd would just keep yelling, "What?"
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing that he's created is the whole what, but in my perfect world, the crowd isn't a bunch of idiots.
Like the what was fun for like an hour, and then it just took. I hate that chant.
Yeah, that's probably the worst one out.
I
love
see.
everything about Stone Cold. Fun fact: when we left Tampa, me, Perch, and Doc stopped at a 7-Eleven right before we hit our flight, and there was a Stone Cold Funko Pop there, 7-Eleven exclusive. And I thought that was the best way to best souvenir to get to remember Mania. So got a lot of love for Austin, but that what chant? Nope.
Yeah,
I can see both sides of the coin on that what chant. Like on one side, it is like super annoying and takes away from promos. But on the other hand, if the promo is engaging and entertaining enough, then the what chant would never happen.
No,
Yeah,
the
Or if
promo-
wrestlers didn't cut promos in like the same exact way every time, where they're speaking in like the same cadence, that never happened.
Get in. And I do enjoy when they would try it on Alexa Bliss, and Alexa, she would just fire back at the crowd.
Yeah, she defeated it, and then they'd stop.
Yeah. So it also could be like, as far as wrestlers, we can win. We just have to remember we're on the mic. They aren't.
Yep.
So yeah. And we can go ahead and move on to our senior official's opinion with who he would like to hear on commentary.
And so this was a good question too here, Dre. With the commentators, when you look back, there's always been great ones. Bobby the Brain, Gorilla Monsoon, all ex-wrestlers, Macho Man, leading into Jerry the King. Jesse the Body is probably one of my favorites of all time.
Yep.
A lot of great ex wrestlers who worked their way into the commentary. JBL, anytime he comes back, is wonderful. I really like him. Right when he started, I took it for granted, but once he was gone and then he would come back once in a while, it's like, oh, I miss JBL on commentary. And he was about as badass as a wrestler as there was. So where Gunner said, I want my wrestler to wrestle. Sure, I wanted JBL to wrestle too, but I guess eventually he did a great job transferring into the commentary. And then it's like, yeah, he doesn't wrestle anymore. It kind of happened all of a sudden. It was weird. A smooth transition, I guess. But when asked the question to fill in for Samoa Joe going forward, there had to be one person, any person in the entire world. I thought past, present, future, and there's only one person who I want to do the job, and he would do the best. And it would be none other than the Game, Triple H, rocking the commentary booth. He did it, months ago.
Gunner, when you throw somebody an alley-oop, it is very easy to throw it down. Thank you, Perch.
Straight up, the Gunner. You said Kane in there too, if you thought Kane or Taker, but there's no other person that could take it, but Triple H. I guess Dre said Stone Cold in that era too. I think that would be great too. Just guys from that era, that era that we grew up with. It's about time that they're coming into their own to be commentators in the commentary role. And Triple H would just fill it perfectly. He knows how to be a heel. He knows how to be a bad guy. Most importantly, he knows how to talk, and he knows how to be a good guy just as well. He can sell the product. And yeah, it was a few months ago. I remember we had a RCCW show out in La Crosse, and Friday Night SmackDown was on, and happened to watch some of it. And Triple H was doing commentary. I think he was doing camera work too. He was doing everything. But yeah, that would be my pick for commentary role going forward.
Okay. Thank you, Perch, for your very well thought out answer. I'm happy most of us cared and put some thought into this.
I put some thought into mine.
It actually came with answers instead of trying to find a way to get out of it.
Sometimes
You want to know what it was? He probably just looked at the text and the question. He's like, you know what? None of my wrestlers are gonna do this.
nope. On my way home from physical therapy today is when I saw your text message. So I was driving home and I thought about it.
So
And I
text
just
them
kept
back.
thinking it'd be much cooler if they wrestled.
No commentary.
Just couldn't get over that thought.
My jaw was dropped when you threw that one out there, because you said I got an answer. You okay? Great, ready for it. But what?
Sometimes when someone throws you an alley-oop, it's easy just to dunk it in. Other times it's more entertaining just to take the ball midair and just chuck it somewhere. No one sees.
I can't argue. I can't argue.
Okay. So
Sorry, Doc.
let's put Gutter behind us and let's look forward to this upcoming week.
I don't know if you want me behind you.
Like, it's all right. With your hamstring, you can't do much.
True.
Sure.
Sad sex noises.
Well,
But
this weekend coming up, we've got none other than Friday night. We'll be at the Galley Lucha show. I think that one may be streaming. Still gotta check out the details, but check it out. We'll have some information. But yeah, that'll be Friday night, Galley down in Chicago. And then Saturday, the following day, we've got AAW returning. I think there'll be a live stream on Twitch, probably around 6 o'clock, 6:30. And then we'll be taping some more footage for the following weeks. So we'll be in Chicago this weekend and making the most of it.
Yep. So that's where you can find your favorite senior official, Perch, this weekend, all in the Chicago area, while myself and the other guys will be at ICW for one of the big shows that they hold, the 420 Classic.
Yes, sir. This is not just, it's one of the biggest shows that Kurt's had. Prior to the Insane Eight, from my knowledge, we'll go back a little ICW history. Prior to the Insane Eight, the 420 Classic was what the Insane Eight is now today. And this is the first doubleheader that it's having this that Dysfunction's having this year. For those who knew before the pandemic, ICW was doing a lot of had a lot of great talent and was having a lot of great doubleheaders, sold out both shows, and now we're doing it again. So Saturday, not only is the show starting at 7:30, there's a doubleheader, I believe. Don't quote me. There's a Facebook page. There's an event to check it out. I want to say the doubleheader either starts at 2 or 3.
3.
3 o'clock. All right, so doubleheader at 3 o'clock, and your mama's favorite tag team just got informed that we are on the doubleheader, defending our tag titles against We Hate You Nation. And when we do retain, because we ain't losing them belts, we go to the main show, the 420 Classic, where we once again have to do another title defense against 2 formidable tag teams, one in Killer Instinct, the other the luxurious ones. I'm about to see.
Yes, that's right. Your mama's favorite tag team will put our belt on the line on the pre-show and win our way into the main show because we're badasses like that, and that's what we do. But go ahead, Gunner. Talk about what you think you're going to do this week.
I want to know what happens if you lose on the first show. Does
imagine in the impossibility in one of those many multitudes of realities where We Hate You Nation actually beats us, they would probably move on to the main show.
Yes. It's probably I know that's like hard concept for you, but it's basic wrestling knowledge, Gunner. When the tag team champions will defend their tag titles in in the main show.
Well, would you then insert yourself to make it a fatal 4-way tag to try to get them back?
Well, usually when you lose the titles, you are the first defender, so I imagine it would be something like that.
Would that rub you the wrong way, seeing that you'd have to get them back against 3 teams instead of just a single team-on-team wrestling matchup?
The more men, the better.
Here's the thing. ICW's had a rich history of tag wrestling. Since 2007, when they introduced the tag titles. We have the tag titles, the tag team division has launched in the last few years. That's the reason why we are who we are. Sorry, Gunner. We're your mama's favorites. We don't claim we're the best tag team. We know we're the best tag team. It's not cocky.
Saturday, we get 2 shows to prove it.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure I'm my mom's favorite.
I'm pretty sure Cherie just texted me saying, "Love your podcast, Zach."
Doubt it. But anyways,
go to bed.
What am I supposed to talk about this weekend?
Yeah,
you're in your triple threat match.
Yep. So yeah. Chucky's on my team. Probably gonna lose. Could do my best to make sure that doesn't happen. It's gonna be interesting. Just got done tagging with Mav last weekend and now tagging against him. And since he lost us our 2 matches this weekend, really not too scared about that. No, I really have like bad luck with tag team partners losing me my tag matches. None of the blame on myself, of course.
Obviously.
I know Gunner's just like,
that's why we keep saying we are your mother's favorite tag team. There's no way you are Cherie's favorite tag team with your tag team history.
True. I think I have to really start putting forward the one man in one man riot squad, because this 2-man thing isn't working out for me.
Maybe that's the problem is you're a one-man band, and these guys are messing up your harmony.
I'm just one man.
Yep.
I'm a one-man band. Can you come out to that song this weekend?
I'll give it some thought.
Good old Heath Slater.
Yeah, me and Chucky are gonna win. That's my answer. Next question.
Okay, very exciting. Well,
next
next question.
Actually, before we move on, I am going to win it for Chucky and I. Next question.
Okay, so actually, the next question is your question, Gunner.
Oh, would you look at that segue?
Once in a while.
Speaking of things that piss you off, like my tag partner's pissing me off, what is your biggest pet peeve? That's my question.
Like overall, or
Yes, overall. Not, you don't have to answer like your biggest pet peeve with Doc specifically in mind. But if you would like to, I have all open ears. I'd be glad to hear what Doc does that pisses you off.
he does nothing that pisses me off. We're a lovely tag team.
So that's my whole plan going into next weekend, was to get you two mad at each other like I'm mad at Chuck. Then maybe we'd have a chance.
Doc and
Mental
us-
games won't work here, child.
Doc
But yeah,
and I
just
will-
general pet peeves. What are your pet peeves?
General pet peeves.
I can go first if you'd like.
Go ahead.
My biggest one, more than anything, is I'm a big smell guy. And when things smell bad, I really hate it. So my biggest pet peeve is bad smells, whether that be BO, maybe some old food, maybe someone took a giant dump ski and forgot to flush. I do not like bad smells. I am, as you guys can probably attest to, in the ring, a quite beautiful and wonderful smelling monster of sorts. And I much appreciate when my
And very
opponents
humble.
are the same.
And the most humblest wrestler in the ring.
Yes, I only speak the truth.
Gunner's like, I'm only great. I smell clean. I don't lose tag matches. My partners lose tag matches. I'm Gunner and I'm perfect.
Yep, 10 out of 10 would recommend me for just about anything,
Book hashtag book Gunner Wicks. You can-
including, speaking of what's coming up soon, not next week, I get to be the special guest of a small child's birthday party. I am quite looking forward to that, eating all of their cake and leaving.
Oh man, eat cake, leave.
Yep. There's your t-shirt.
I am wearing a Roman Reigns shirt right now that says wreck everyone and leave.
Yeah.
I should make my own that just says eat cake and leave.
Yeah.
What if there was more cake?
What if there was more cake?
Yeah, would you
Whoever
leave
eats
right
Gunner
away?
eats Cake. There is no such thing as more cake after Gunner eats cake.
This is true. I'm also the son of two bakers. I do not know how to bake, but over the years I've really perfected the art of eating baked goods, including cake.
Yeah, I can see it now. Gunner Wicks, not the son of a plumber, the son of a baker.
Can't beat a good funfetti, in my opinion. Light frosting, funfetti cake is simple, plain, delicious as it gets.
True. I am a fan of cakes that like to party.
We
Not a
party.
big cake guy, but in high school, I always liked getting that yellow cake with the chocolate frosting on it. That was
Yeah.
always good.
Yeah. I'm a yellow cake chocolate frosting or just plain chocolate cake guy.
If you ever go out to Texas, I want to say it's Roadhouse or Corral out in Indiana with my dad, he's going to tell the waiter it's your birthday, and they come out with a giant slice of chocolate cake that could probably feed the whole table. Like, and like, I don't know how they don't know he's been doing this, but probably like in a month, like he went out with like 5 or 6 people and told them everyone, like, yeah, this is the guy's birthday, just so he can get that free piece of cake.
Okay. Your dad's a man who knows what he wants.
He wants that chocolate cake.
My pet peeve. I'll pick a weird one that I have because I can't think of something as personal as smell. Um, it's a weird one. I hate the sound of styrofoam rubbing against things. Like that,
Really?
yeah, that is like the nails on the chalkboard sound to me. I don't know why, but especially styrofoam rubbing against styrofoam. But
I get you. I like get the chills sometimes when I hear that sound myself.
yeah, I do not like it. I hate styrofoam.
I just put together a dresser today, and that styrofoam coming out of the box was
Yeah,
So you guys both hate that sound.
like that's why we're tag partners. It's a horrible thing.
This
It's
is
easier on the guy making the sound.
yes, that is very correct, which is why I'm going to write in my pre-match notebook that you guys both hate the sound of styrofoam. So come ICW.
He's about to enter with a styrofoam and just rub it together. The
The
entire-
whole time. My
I might
wife
be
and I-
packing some in my tights. Usually I put socks down there just for the ladies, try to present my image, but might go with styrofoam this next week.
Yeah, can't
Um,
stand it. Can't stand it. Yes, that is the I guess that's the one country air weakness. Styrofoam.
yes, sir. My pet peeve, and Doc can probably attest to this. I'm like very, and I hate to do it, but I'm like always, I'm very big, like they're like called a perfectionist. Like one little thing will bother me. Like if it's an inch, if like living room, for example, I just moved, and if it's if we put up a picture that's a little crooked, that's gonna bother me until like I get it perfectly straight. Or like I said, I put together a dresser, and now we have two matching dressers and a brand new dresser that doesn't match at all. And that bothers me. Like a lot of unisons.
Yeah, and I will attest to your perfectionist ways because when we cut this promo for Zello and we had to do multiple takes and my spit stain was everywhere, we were running out of space to actually shoot the promo because we had to keep moving to keep spit stain out of it.
Yep, I'm a very big perfectionist. I notice the smallest of things, and if I notice it, it's going to bother me.
Yep.
Hi, Christina.
Hi.
Yep. So that's the female.
Excuse you?
Hi.
You don't refer to me as a female.
Christina, what's your
That's
biggest?
Christina.
Doc, if you have to handle some business off camera, you go right ahead. And,
Like, no,
We
it's
ain't gonna be handling no business.
that's right. That's right. If I die, this is the proof of what happened.
Hey, Christina, what's your biggest pet peeve?
Me and everything I do.
I like you, Doc. You're not a bad guy.
They're like, debatable.
He's the guy.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, I'm like,
Dan,
Did Perch go with pet peeve yet?
no, I'd be very interested in our senior officials' pet peeve.
Mayonnaise on sandwiches.
Ah, mayonnaise in general.
mustard as
On
well.
anything. Just get it out of here. I don't need any sauce. I don't need any mayonnaise. I don't need anything. Just dry bread. That's it. I'll take a dry piece of bread over a sandwich with mayonnaise or anything. Just
Really?
yeah, any of that stuff. Not a fan.
Yeah.
Or sour cream. Get that out of here. Onions, no, please, no.
Not even a sauce.
No, awful, just awful. So, when there's instances where it's a big party platter or something, yeah, you generally won't hear me complaining, but you won't see me eating.
Yeah, yeah. I don't do the mayonnaise. Don't really do the sour cream.
No, just unnecessary tasting.
I did,
Fill you up. Don't need it.
I like to
Well,
get lost in the sauce.
And in
I'm a
that
sauce
case,
guy.
not to naysay your cake, but too much frosting or that jelly on there, just scoop it off. That's what the side of the finger is used for.
oh,
Here's a
favorite-
question. Do you consider a waffle a piece of bread? And if so, or if not, do you like syrup on your waffles, correct? Or no?
Yeah, so a waffle and a pancake are two separate entities all together. I would never put syrup on anything. You know how sticky and nasty that stuff is? Like even touching it is like you got to bring out the hazmat
Yeah,
suit or
it's
at least a set of gloves. But yeah, like I said, waffles and pancakes, that's you'll go to different lengths to to enjoy what those have to offer. So yeah,
know,
no,
my
you won't
favorite,
see me using syrup on much, but I'll break out the the hazmat suit for some waffles and pancakes. That's why when it comes to the continental breakfast, they usually put the yellow tape after I'm done.
favorite quote that Perch said out in Tampa. We were talking about like breakfasts, waffles, and all that. He said, and I quote, like, "Man, I miss going to IHOP and having all those different flavor syrups that I could deny and grab the original because they have the blueberry, the banana, all that." He's like hyping up the syrup. He's like, "I like all those." He like named all of them out. He's like, "Just so I could grab the original." I don't know why, but it just like tickled me. Like I thought he was like, "I like mixing it up," but he's like, "Nope, I like to skip it all and grab the original."
Perch is a straight up guy.
Yeah, Perch is that like down home guy.
Likes his coffee black as syrup normal.
Yeah, to the fullest. Like that was the thing. I was worried when we went to Raising Cane's if that cane sauce was going to be too much.
Not bad. I dipped. It's
Cane
worth a
sauce
try.
is-
If I go any sauce, it's gonna be like a barbecue or something, or a hyped up sauce. I'll dip it. Yeah, and that's about as far as I'll go. But yeah, too much, it's a bad thing.
If the sauce says Chipotle on it, it's a good chance I'm gonna put it on something.
Same, dude. I could eat that sauce with like anything.
Like Chipotle, anything is like when you see that word Chipotle, I don't know if it's like what it's about, but I'm like, all right, I'll try it.
Chipotle ranch, banger.
Yeah, and I'm not a big ranch fan, but Chipotle ranch, I'll make an exception.
I agree.
All right. So that was it with Gunner's question. Does anybody else have anything they would like to add before we have
Yeah, we can't end this on Chipotle Ranch. Like of all the things, you're gonna end it on that being the thing.
will
Screw
not let
that.
podcast end on a
Talk about pet peeve, dude. That's like rubbing some styrofoam right, right on camera. And for our last bit,
Yeah, if our last bit was us just rubbing two pieces of styrofoam together, I would be very upset.
I could try to find some quick if you'd like.
Please don't. Please don't.
I will not do that.
oh, I
Um,
love it.
okay,
Love it.
then Perch, let's end it on something you like since we were just talking about something you dislike.
Okay, something I like. We're coming at it. We got a good week ahead of us. Body's feeling right. I think all of us are taking wrestling into a different mind state, different goals coming up. We got a big summer ahead of us. Catch us at fair shows, catch us at house shows, catch us at stadium shows, catch us at field shows. We'll be all over, and we got to get ourselves hyped. We got to get our bodies right, get our mind right. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay strong.
Yeah. Yeah, let's end on putting ourselves over. Yes, we will be
Yeah, I'm good at that.
yeah, lots of big shows coming up with the summer. We all are very busy, but that does not mean we would not like to come to a promotion near you. So you can go ahead, reach out to your promotions, let them know that you want to see Doc Simmons, Dan Perch, Gunnar Wicks, and Zach Hendricks near you. We are always willing to travel. We are a good hand, and we're all very pretty.
You book us, you get a promo, you get ring setup, ring teardown, everything with a positive attitude.
Yep.
Do
PMA all
the
around.
massage if you'd like.
Yeah.
Except Gunner. Don't book him in a tag.
Yeah.
Book me in a
Listen to
singles.
this entire podcast and book Gunner and you book him in a tag. He's probably going to get distracted easily and lose.
And also book Gunner for your birthday parties.
Yep.
Keep Bring in the cake after he leaves.
Yes.
I don't even need any money. Just pay me in cake. I will be satisfied.
Right. All promoters, like, please listen to that. Pay Gunner and cake.
I'm gonna laugh next promotion you get booked from. You come in and you're like, we never really talked about the payday. And like, well, we got you a cake.
Hey, I'd be happy.
I just, for some reason, I just picture a promoter trying to stuff a cake into an envelope now.
They start passing out cupcakes.
Yeah,
Cupcake for you. Cupcake for you.
be very good. But, all right, I think on that case, we can take it home. I'm going to do the YouTube thing and say, hey, like, share, and subscribe.